Welcome to Kerbal Space Program 1.8.1. At least I think it is. Yeah, we're still 1.8.1. Okay, so what I've done is I have built a flying craft. It's got a capsule in the front. It's a space plane too. An inline cockpit. I've got fuel tank with oxidizer and a Terrier engine. And I'm also got my atmospheric basic jet engine. This will allow me to fly between 5,000 and 0 feet, 0 meters between sea level. I'm at the mid-level of my tech tree, and the only thing that I have are these rams. Let's go look at that real quick. And the problem with the aircraft you see on the YouTube videos, and I think this will be a short video, is they all build their aircrafts and they're using parts from down here. They're using sandbox. It's really hard to get all this experience, and it takes a little bit of a effort. You know, you have to be able to go to your Mars or your Venus. We call them Eve and Duna. And we have to go to our moon. We have two, Mun and Minmus, and you got to land on these things. And then, and only then, you might have enough experience. But so, what are you going to do in the mid-level when you're trying to get encouragement or education or ideas from these videos, and these guys are using tech tree out of your realm? So anyway, this is my mid-level aircraft. The only part I used off of here is my tunnel ram, but what I really like, and I'm not using it in this craft, is this engine right here. This is a high flyer with an afterburner. It's kind of like a military model that we have. Of course, I love all these, the new two-man. I love this design. But anyway, what I could use more of in the airplane world is probably my larger landing gear. And I really like this control mechanism. Where is that? Is it here? There it is, right here. This allows scientist and engineer to have the ability of pilots, and it also allows the pilots to have abilities beyond their control. It's like a computer assisted module where it's not going to let you get into trouble. So like you and the computer are flying the airplane together. So anyway, to get back out of here and just show you where I'm at, I got about more than half of these in this level, but I'm just at the mid career point, and it's actually less than mid, but anyway, on the tech tree it looks like it's in the middle. Anyway, back to this craft. Now, this craft is actually designed to be put on a rocket and launched. That's why I have the Terrier engine in the center, and so it's a space plane, but it does fly. So let's take it on a test flight. I'll show you. Now, the one thing we have to realize here in this test flight is we have all our fuel on board. We are heavy, heavy, heavy. So what we're going to get is a sluggish nature when we put it on chase. What we are going to have is a sluggish nature. And I'll show you. This won't have the zip. Alright, giving her the gas all the way. 100%. And I've pretty much approximately determined our stall speed at about 50 meters per second. I'm not happy at 50, so wow, I'm getting off my center line. Let me put it back on 90. I'm not happy at 50, so because that's when I stall. So I want to be above 50, so 60, 70 is pretty decent. I can pull up my front end to see if it flies. Oh look, it's already wanting to fly. Pop the landing gear up. Now you can see we're at quite a pitch angle, but we're not really going up. This is the direction my nose is pointing, and this is the direction my craft is traveling. And you can see that I'm actually slowing down, and eventually I'm going to come to the ground with my stall speed intact. See, I'm going 70, 69, so what we have to do is level this out, because we're heavy. If we were light, we'd be, and we need to get some speed going. Come back up to, like, let's say 90. and then we're going to just kind of pull this back out before we get in trouble. Like right there. And what I'm looking at here is our vertical speed meter. That's our speed going up and down. It's called the vertical speed meter. It's this is our altitude, our actual altitude above the ground level or sea level. And since we're pointed up, going up, and increasing in speed, all things are nominal, optimal. I'm not really sure what word yeah, conditions nominal for sure. So we're moving up, moving up, moving up. Now a pilot's best friend is altitude. But in the name of expedience, I'm going to go ahead and do a return trip. It may even be Mayday technique. Mayday, Mayday. I have problems. I'm returning to base. I am heavy. I cannot dump my fuel. Okay, you see me dropping below 60, so now I have to immediately straighten out and get my speed back. Or I die. You don't want to get caught where you start falling out of the sky. And you have to have enough speed and altitude to get your speed back so you can get your vertical speed in a positive direction. So what I'm doing is I'm watching 3 things at a time. I'm watching my directional compass for direction. I'm also watching my direction pointing up and down. And I'm watching my distance to hit the ground. And I'm trying to casually watch my speed as a measure of potential aircraft performance. What we call it is staying ahead of the game. And it's very dangerous to land right now. Actually, pilots dump fuel, or in my case, if I really was in an emergency and this was a real aircraft, I'd probably have to circle and burn my fuel, since I called my mayday and was unable to dump. Anyway, that's kind of a Kerbal thing. We can't dump fuel. So actually, in most flight simulators I fly, they don't have a fuel option, which is kind of interesting because you're supposed to be able to take off full optimally and land empty optimally. So if pilots have an emergency, you can turn around sometimes and go dump their fuel. Alright, let's go ahead and see. I'm not real comfortable. It's really kind of like I can feel the weight. So I'm going to shut down my engine. And we never land aircraft. What we do is we fly above the runway until the aircraft lands itself. Okay, that was pretty good. And then I'm going to put on the brakes. That looks like an 8-minute video. So, what we have is an aircraft that flies. And I didn't get to show you, but the center of lift is right under this landing gear. Of course, the center of the thrust comes right out of this back engine, or it comes out of this Terrier engine, which is atmospheric. It brings its own oxygen. I mean, not atmospheric, space. Vacuum. It can run in space. It's very efficient, but it's not good in atmosphere. But these are just fine. They're nice, low consuming. Let's see how much fuel we consume. Barely any. Barely any. 27 units. Well, let me go ahead and pull around to the space plane. Let me go ahead and enable my gear. Probably have to do it since I got it spun around. Yeah. So anyway, I can set up a toggle switch. So when I push a button, the steering becomes on and off, because you can't have this wheel steering and takeoff. It will mess you up. But you can't drive the airplane on the ground without it. So you kind of need a command toggle switch to turn this on and off. In World War II aircraft, it's the tail wheel activation. You activate the tail wheel, or you lock the tail wheel, meaning it's either locked or unlocked. If it's unlocked, you can use it to steer. If it's locked, then That's takeoff mode. Anyway, pretty cool. We're doing what we call taxi now. We're really not supposed to taxi fast. The general rule in taxiing in an aircraft is never taxi faster than you can trot, which trot is like a running. So anyway, trot is like a little faster than a jog, but not as fast as a run. And the whole idea about taxiing to the trot, I know this, guys have reached in, started up their aircraft, and it starts to move. Or they'll go give the propeller a kick because it needs priming. And the aircraft starts to move on them. They have to actually chase their airplane down, open the door, and jump in. What was that? It looks like there's something to drive over in the graphics. Probably, I'm officially at the space plane hangar now. Okay, so we got the space plane hangar. This is like a, what do they call that? It's where the tower is. Mission control, I guess. We have the astronaut complex over here, the administration building. This is our communications over here. This is our vehicle assembly building with the crawlerway to the launch pad. So anyway, I'm going to call this a video at the 12-minute mark. In 17 seconds, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. You all have a wonderful holiday coming up. Happy New Year.